Battlefield 4, is it any good? I just spent the last week or so playing the beta, had a lot of fun, tried out the new features, and I really liked it. To me, it feels like how Battlefield 3 should have played in the first place. However, there were a few gripes I had with some of the features, the main one being Levolution. You could way too easily take down the skyscraper. If you guys don't know, in the Siege of Shanghai map, there's a skyscraper in the middle. It just really hurt the experience when players would join a map, or the match would just start, and they'd go straight to the skyscraper in either the attack boat or the tanks, and just take it out right at the beginning of the match, leaving no one to be able to experience that feature for the rest of the match, and it just sort of took away from the game for me. So hopefully in the full release of the game they'll change something with that, maybe put some pillars inside, maybe give them some more health, but that's something I'd really like to see. I'm sure a lot of other people would too. But other than that, all in all, it was a great experience. The gunplay was awesome, it was amazing. To be honest, it felt more like Bad Company 2 than BF3, and I liked it. I thought it played really well. See, I went into Battlefield 4 thinking it was just going to be really similar to Battlefield 3, but I was pleasantly surprised, and it wasn't. Right when the beta was released, a lot of people were talking about the balance of the guns, the balance of the classes, and the Assault class still feels pretty overpowered, pretty overused compared to the rest, but in comparison to BF3, it's changed quite a bit, and for the better. So the Assault class is pretty strong, but at the opposite end is the Support class. The Support class really doesn't have too much going for it. In Battlefield 3, as the Support class, you'd use C4 to blow up tanks and things like that. But now the Support class only has two things going for it. One is the airburst weapon, which is great for taking out campers, trying to take out snipers behind cover, things like that, if used correctly. And the second reason you use support might be to support your team with ammo packs. But besides that, there really wasn't much point to playing as the Support class. Which brings me to the Recon class. The Recon class has been buffed significantly by removing suppression almost entirely, and speaking from experience, trying to be an aggressive Recon player and help the team push from Battlefield 3, it's so much better. But the problem with this Recon class right now is that sniping is so difficult. The hitboxes seem to have been changed for the worse drastically. To try to hitting a moving target was almost impossible at a multitude of ranges, but the only way you could really take out someone was if they were standing still. And I've played a bit of DayZ in my day, and I really liked the ranging mechanic. So if you're sniping at someone and they're at pretty extreme ranges, you don't have to use the millidots anymore. You just press V or whatever it's mapped to, and you cycle through the ranges. I'd really like to see them add maybe something for the number pad where you don't have to cycle through the ranges. Instead, you just tap a button and you can just quickly go to that range. But all in all, I think the Recon class has been changed for the better. The Engineer class, I still really enjoy. It seems to be, once again, just as the same with BF3, the most balanced class. You've got your PDWs, which are great for close range, not so great for long range, but that's what balancing is all about. You've also got your rocket launcher, which is great taking out tanks, other vehicles, things like that, and if you're feeling gutsy, trying to snipe people. So all in all, compared to BF3, all the classes seem to have balanced a little bit better, put on more of a level playing field, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit. The new system allows you to use DMRs, carbines, and I forgot the third weapon, for all classes. And this really gives you a lot more versatility in terms of the player you want to try to be and how you want to try to help your team. Vehicles. they've been changed significantly. They now handle a lot more realistically. Cars will sort of drift if you try to exert some G forces on them by turning hard while you're going pretty fast. Helicopters are a little bit less maneuverable than they were in BF3, but I think that's better. Makes it a little bit more realistic, makes it a little bit more challenging to try and be a good helicopter pilot. Can't say anything about the jets, as they weren't playable in the Siege of Shanghai map, but I am sure they're going to be great too. So while I've been waiting for BF4, one of the new features I've been most excited about was the new naval combat system. So now they've added things like the attack boat, which have this main cannon that just decimates both vehicles and players, and has little jet skis you can escape on if you need to bail. And it was one of my favorite vehicles in the game, except for in the beta when it glitched out and it dropped in the middle of a street or something like that, and people would rush to try to use it. It was pretty funny, but I'm sure it'll be fixed in the full version of the game. So in summary, helicopters, boats, tanks, they're all awesome. They've all been fixed, they've all been changed for the better. It's awesome. So now in Battlefield 4, there's a lot more customization you can put towards your character, towards the vehicles you drive. You can add a little image or something like that, and it will be presented both on your character's guns and arms, I think, but also on the vehicles you drive. So this is a neat feature. All I worry about is it'll become sort of like a Call of Duty feature where you see people running around with diamond encrusted pink guns that just sort of break the immersion. No one does that in real life, even though it's sort of funny. But I don't know. I just hope it doesn't become too crazy. So the other thing is it seems pretty well optimized for the most part. At the launch, at the beginning of the beta, a lot of people were having problem with low frame rates, even though they had really good graphics cards. But luckily it seems like most of that was fixed. Maybe a few things need to be changed once it's released, but I mean that's expected with a beta, and it seemed like they were fixed pretty quick, and that was great. Also, the new engine, Frostbite 3, superb, awesome, wonderful, brilliant, really like it. My favorite part about it is the water. The water physics are amazing. I've never seen any game that quite does water just like this engine does. And when you're in a boat, you can see the wake behind you. I haven't played Paracel Storm, but in the video gameplay of it, it seems like the water just reacts to the weather. Maybe the match starts off and it's sunny, but then later on it becomes stormy, and you see the water react to the weather. Waves will start to ripple and things like that. You see some white caps. Really cool, really like that. The other thing was the engine also seems to be more of a mix between Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2 in terms of the destructibility. In Battlefield 3, it seems like they sort of tuned down the destruction a little bit, whereas in Bad Company 2 it was sort of, in my opinion, over the top. You could blow up buildings really easily if you wanted to make an entrance. Just grenade a wall and just clear everybody inside. It was really cool, but it wasn't as realistic. It wasn't as grounded in reality. But overall, I feel like they found a good balance between reality and making the gameplay fun. Battle packs are also something that's been added. They seem to be sort of like a random drop-like thing. You might get 3 or so weapon attachments that can be added to some of your weapons. It seems sort of neat. I'm not sure exactly how it works in terms of how you can use real money to pay for some of these battle packs, things like that. I hope it doesn't turn into a pay-to-win like model, but I have faith in DICE. I think they'll do the right thing. I think it'll be okay. With the beta, they presented us with 3 different game modes: Obliteration, Domination, and Conquest. Out of all those, I gotta say, my favorite was probably Conquest. In Battlefield 3, my favorite mode was Rush. Fortunately, I didn't get to try Rush in the beta, but I really enjoyed it. Domination was a pretty standard game mode, just a deathmatch, team deathmatch. It was fun, didn't really bring anything new. Obliteration, however, seemed pretty fresh, pretty original. Basically, bomb spawns in the middle of the map, gotta bring it to a command post on the enemy team, blow it up, takes time for it to arm, and once you've gotten all the command posts, then you've won the game. Also, as with Battlefield 3, DICE has decided to have the premium function that they had in the last game. Basically, you pay about $50 or so. You get early access to all the maps. If you're going to be playing the game quite a bit, it's probably a worthy investment. If you're just going to be playing it casually here and there, you might want to hold off on it. Well, that just about sums it up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Battlefield 3 footage. It started a little bit slow, but luckily I think I sort of picked myself up. We did a good job defending this round. I think the main thing the enemy team tried to do is just have a whole bunch of snipers at the top, and they didn't push that much. So also, if you guys like this video, I encourage you guys to check out my first video, which was the one before this. It'll probably be linked in the description, and there's a little montage I did with some footage I got from the beta. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment, it all helps out. So anyways, hope you guys have a great weekend, enjoy the last of this footage, and I'll see you next time.
Spotted a hostile helicopter over.